Good afternoon, welcome to iView Live. I'm joined today by Jonathan Hutchison from Douglas Stewart. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hi Steve, thanks very much.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks.
Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Oh, no problem at all.
In this studio.
In your new studio, I'm impressed.
You think?
It's great, yeah.
Now, you are the first, what shall I say, outsider to be joined. Everyone else has been like an intern.
Oh, right.
So you're very welcome to be our first proper guest, if I can call you that.
Thank
which
you.
Is wrong. But, and thanks for doing this, because you only came in to do a pitch.
Yeah.
It's like you find yourself in front of me in this surrounding. So
exactly. It's
really appreciate
surreal. My first time on any kind of interview, and recorded interview ever in my life.
You're doing great. Just go with it. Just go with it. That's the way it works best. So, firstly, just give me a history of Douglas Stewart, because I wasn't that aware. I know we work with him, but I don't work in that department. So, a little bit of a history of Douglas Stewart.
So, Douglas Stewart's a big company in the USA and Canada, and they do educational supplies there, and they're kind of a mixture of like a reseller and a distributor, but also like the university bookshop type of business over there.
Okay.
And they've been trading there for, I think, 40 or 50 years. And I think the entity in Europe has been trading for around about 20 years. Mm-hmm. I've only been with the company for a couple of years.
Sure.
And in the UK, we're more specifically a distributor. So the channel's clearer in the UK.
Yep.
Distributors supply to resellers who supply to end users, and we supply to resellers. But we still have that focus on sort of education and training supplies, those type of things. So anything that you should find in a classroom or a training room, we would be supplying.
Okay, so that's your kind of parameters are education.
And training. Sort of education and training, essentially. So, I mean, obviously, with recent events, a fair bit of what you would have found in the classroom has now been what you would find outside the classroom, because we've been having to really try and facilitate distance learning and working from home.
Absolutely. Yeah, very much so. Now, just explain to me why. You're a middleman kind of thing,
right?
So me is coming in going, how does that work? Why doesn't that person just talk to that person rather than involve you?
Well, I suppose if you think if we all went to a manufacturer to buy products, then the manufacturer wouldn't spend their time manufacturing.
Sure.
They would spend all of their time dealing with customers. So just as you go to Tesco's to buy all the products you want, all the manufacturers deal with this middleman.
Right.
And within the sort of IT space, we have the manufacturers who either write software or manufacture a physical product, like a camera or a microphone, and then they take that product, they supply it to somebody who would be the distributor. Now that tends to be somebody who's going to bring the goods into the country and will store it close to the market they're targeting.
Yeah.
And then the resellers will enjoy the relationship with the customers that use the product. And the resellers will have thousands of products that they will have available.
Yep.
So they will buy them from distributors, and that's what Douglas Stewart is. It's the distributor.
Get it? Yeah, okay. So like you said before when we were talking about tripods coming from America,
yes.
I wouldn't want to get it from America. I'll just be a lot easier and more convenient for me to just get it from you.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And if you were doing, if every time you were doing the business direct with the factory, the costs, this is the most efficient way to get product from the factory to the customer. If the factory has to deal directly, then that would be an equivalent to, say, a bespoke tailored suit.
Yeah.
You know, those are always very expensive. Why? Because the person who makes the suit is also dealing with you personally.
Yeah.
And that's fine for products like that, but for the products that we want to make as affordable as possible for customers, then the channel really adds value there.
Sure. I haven't had a look at the range of products. That it's diverse. It's quite. I know it's under the education, but looking at some of the stuff was like, well, you've got the AT software, obviously. That's for the DSA market primarily. Coding stuff for kids, 3D printers, filming equipment.
Yes.
It's just wow. It's just different things on different pages. That's quite amazing.
Yes.
The filming thing got me actually. I was just like, where does that fit into education? I can see the other ones, but it's like, where does?
Oh, it's huge in education now.
Is this more so because of lockdown and stuff? Because of that, or is it just no?
It's definitely increased. It's accelerated.
Yeah.
But I think that content in presentation for any profession now is very important. We're sitting here producing content now. Students need to be leaving their education understanding both how to make, how to deliver that type of, any type of content. So all the AV stuff, where it used to be that you only ever had to worry about it if you were doing film studies.
Yeah.
Now you need to know it whether you're doing doing civil engineering, whether you're doing languages, or whatever it could be. Any kind of research, half the coursework that they've got to deliver back has got to be, like filmed content that they're delivering back on assignments.
Sure.
So it's a really growing part of the curriculum in a lot of subjects.
Right.
And it helps to promote the schools as well.
Yeah.
So they want to have that, and it puts them front and center. And you also see a lot of young people now really aspire to be in that space. It's a much more common thing to want to be in front of these things. So they're choosing those as subjects. They're pursuing that as a line of education.
I mean, kids are so much more comfortable in front of cameras. They're just growing up with it. I'm just like, don't point the camera.
Yeah. I avoid cameras
Isn't it?
at all cost.
But they actively film me.
Yeah,
Film me,
and
please.
now, you see them just constant.
An aspiration for a lot of children is, I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I want to be, that's their.
Yeah.
Because you can make money out of it. Right?
Yeah, and they're so good at it.
Yeah.
The young people are so good at it. What they produce, the content you see, what young kids are producing now, just as a hobby.
Yeah.
And it's better than the TV that was being produced 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And they're not just the actual filming that they do, but they do they've got their makeup down, they've got their lighting down, they're buying ring lights, they're buying everything to get the whole thing put together. Yeah. And the content they're delivering is just astonishing.
Amazing. Do you go for the whole range of education from like primary to further education?
Yes, all the way through, and even really right up into the corporate space for training rooms, training departments, that type of thing as well. Yeah. And we try to work on anything from, there's the sort of mainstream educational needs, and then there's special needs, educational needs, and that translates all the way through to access to work and help, finding ways to help people to be as productive as possible. And the weird thing is, with so much of the products that we used to always consider to be special needs products, an awful lot of people now are using them because they're actually very good and they just increase productivity. So nowadays, you dictate to your computer whether you need to or not. It's just quicker, it's nice like that.
Good. Is what's your biggest sector? Is it DSA?
I'd say it's. I'd have to guess. I would say that's sort of pretty close to half.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Obviously, lockdown last year wasn't great.
Not at all.
How did it affect your company?
It's very mixed, really. I think that we pulled together as a team very well, and we were all very conscious of the fact that working from home would be tough. So we really tried to make sure that we looked after each other and looked after each other's sort of morale and mental health and all that kind of thing. We try and have as many sort of social teams calls and that kind of thing, and just make time to try and make up for the lack of, the community of being in the office. So we did that. Obviously, when you saw what was happening outside of the company, we've been incredibly lucky, and nobody's been seriously affected by the virus. So we've been very fortunate there. In terms of the business side of things, it's been a really strange environment to operate in. There's been opportunities with helping people to work from home, and then we've also seen major projects that the company's been working on for a long time suddenly shelved, and we're waiting for those to come back to life. So it's been incredibly unpredictable. As a salesperson, my boss has asked me for forecasts, and it's just been a finger in the air job.
Yeah,
finger in the no idea what's going to happen.
He knows that, I'm going to imagine, but
they still have to ask, though, don't they?
Yeah. No, it's funny because you came in yesterday, and it was like someone new's coming in. I said to you, but is it nice to get out and about?
It's the best. It's the best. I'm so happy.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It's just. I said to one of my colleagues in the office on Wednesday night, I was like, I couldn't believe that I was going out on a few meetings and I was actually excited about it.
Are you a salesman by trade? You've been in the company a couple of years, but is that what you did before? Or
sorry, say that again?
A salesman by trade, like a out and about guy that goes around seeing people. Is that your?
Yeah.
So that must be so inherent in you. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And taking that away and just do it on a Zoom call.
Just sit at home all the time, and you just climbing the walls.
Now, it struck me yesterday. Now, we had a conversation yesterday, which was a really good conversation. I really enjoyed it. I really like that guy. I don't think it would have been the same on Zoom.
No.
Do you know what I mean? That I don't know what you feel, but I reflected on it and thought, there's no way we could have, done that and got. We didn't get close. What I'm saying is, we talked about subjects that were kind of. I don't think we would have got there.
No, you on a Zoom call, you have an objective, you get it done, and then you move on, and it's sort of there's very little outside of that. Whereas when you're going out and about, you actually build relationships with people. Whereas the Zoom calls, I mean, it's a tremendous tool. It's really, really helped productivity, and it's absolutely saved us. But for me, I do like being on the road.
Absolutely.
That's sort of
yeah. And some of the things will stay. Have you got children?
No.
I've got 2 kids. I had parents' evening last night for one of them.
Right.
Online.
Brilliant.
I remember parents' evening. Obviously I haven't been, but you go around the tables and you go see the geography teacher, you go see the science teacher, and you got these crazy slots at 5 minutes past 6, and then and it never works because it runs over. So we did it on this call last night, okay, and you were given 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So at 6 minutes past 6, I had the geography teacher, Mrs. Fisher, over. 6 minutes after that, the meeting shut. That was it.
Yeah.
Next one came on straight away, maths.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
1-to-1 is great, no distractions. We've got 6 minutes. We don't waffle on. We get what you need done. It was like speed dating.
Yeah, and you don't need to be anywhere in particular.
No.
You could do it on your phone. You could do it from McDonald's.
Absolutely.
You could be anywhere you wanted and attend that meeting.
But how convenient was that? We could sit in our kitchen and just see all the teachers.
It's
within
brilliant.
an hour. And that 6 minutes makes you focus and get all the stuff done in that. So it's good for the teachers as well. So that was just the thing that I think that'll stay. That's one of the things that will stay.
Oh, I think so. And I think the thing that I as far as I can see at the moment, nobody so far audio calls, like cold audio calls people. And I think that we're going to start to see that come in, where you actually do need to make sure that you've got, you know, your shirt done up and you and you know and because, and watch your backgrounds and make sure you haven't got a pile of washing behind you and that kind of thing, because I think that it's gonna switch where people will start like we do dial people inside the company on Teams ad hoc, but I think that it's moving forward to where we'll start to see people will just ad hoc face, you know, video call you,
and that becomes more the norm.
I think that could come.
It's quite scary, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be. You're going to have to be careful. You're going to have to be really watch your backgrounds.
Where are you? I can't lie about this.
Make sure you've got some kind of, you know, like tidy shirt on and that kind of thing.
Yeah, very much so. Okay. Now, this is brilliant. You came in to see us, Alex and I, to demonstrate some stuff, which was great. Our chief exec took the opportunity to grab you.
He did.
And show you our new product, which is iView Health and Wellbeing. Now, you've only just seen it.
Yes.
Okay, but just first impressions.
I thought it was terrific.
Okay. I haven't prompted you to say this, by the way.
No. I thought it was terrific. I think the when you take the time to get your head around what the bulk of the product is, you know, because the bulk of the product isn't the watch itself. The bulk of the product is the intelligence behind that and what you're going to do with that and how that's going to help, possibly help everybody, but certainly help vulnerable people.
Yes.
I think that's a really powerful thing. I think it's going to help to leave vulnerable people, more independent, and more confident about, you know, getting out in the world and doing nice things, and I think you know, as a product, it's so unobtrusive. You know, if you think back to those sort of products that, like, my grandmother used to have, this giant thing that she wore around her neck in case she had a fall.
Yep.
And you'd be like, you know, like, who wants that? Whereas a watch is just ideal.
I like that word, unobtrusive. And I've been wearing one for a couple of weeks now.
Right.
I've never been interested in this. I'm checking stats every day. Every morning I'm looking at, I think I had a good night's sleep. Let's check. Heart rates. I'm a bit concerned about my heart when I went for a walk the day. It went really high.
Okay.
Didn't know that. So I'm thinking, right, okay. So I'm looking at the analytics of it going every day. And it's just like fascinating stuff. And it's making me think. It's actually, honestly, it's making me think about altering habits.
Really?
It really is. So
I'm interested to see how things like driving through rush hour versus driving not at rush hour is different. I'm interested to see how, like, because I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to experiment on, you know, a day with very little coffee versus a day with a lot of coffee, because sometimes I can drink so much coffee that I feel like somebody's chasing me, which can't be good.
There was one, I had a spike, okay, and it was 9:20 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was when Dave walked in and made an announcement. I said, Dave, this is when you came and talked to us. So that really laughed. It was just funny that.
But I think the other thing with a product like that is you're going to have to moderate how much you do interact with it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to have to use it to derive a benefit from it and then forget about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I think you could just be sitting there watching every minute of every day.
Yeah.
What did that do to my heartbeat?
I think that wears off. You know, I mean, it's just when you start, you know, there is a little bit of that, but it just kind of.
And I think, like, when you see, you know, there's sort of step counters and that type of thing. I think gradually you started off and you know, run around the lounge and then see if it added up, and then after a while it's like, how am I doing this week? And you're checking it with that kind of degree of frequency. I think that's where these sort of health monitor type products, you've got to have them
very much so,
where you're not just creating panic.
More anxiety. Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely. Now, you're going in with a couple. This totally reminds you, do you remember Open All Hours?
Yes.
Arkwright.
Mm-hmm.
There's this scene where this salesman comes to the shop and says, I've got something to sell. And Arkwright goes, oh, come in. And then a few minutes later, cuts the guy coming out with his bag of groceries going,
Yes.
What's just happened? That's exactly what felt has just happened. You come in. How did that just happen?
Yeah.
He is like Arkwright.
And the chair thing as well. I'm going to go with those two.
He's just going to make it. Great, come and see me for a quick chat. I thought that's Arkwright. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. So that was great. Thanks for your time on that. Now we're going to have a break, because we're going to you've got another product to demonstrate, which I'm absolutely fascinated in. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
You've had a quick play.
I've seen it for 5 minutes.
So it could go all wrong.
It might.
Yeah.
But I was really pleased with it, to be honest.
Okay.
I think you'll be excited about it.
No, I'm looking forward, because it sounds fascinating. So hopefully we can get it up and running.
Yeah.
But it might not work, but
We'll give it a
hopefully
go.
we will, and it's all live. So see what. So for now, Jonathan, thank you very much. We'll be back in a few secs.
Perfect. Thank you.
Over 2 years in development, in partnership with health, well-being and neurodiversity support experts, it is now time to really use technology to take the provision of mental health support to a new level. Using the physical data collected from the iView watch and comparing it with the user's timing and frequency of social communication and media use, causatory habits can be identified, positive habits are affirmed, and negative habits discussed, all with the help of a mentor. Additional support is provided through live chat with trained individuals, and access to our library of wellbeing videos. The whole system provides the user with comprehensive support and reassurance. Get connected to your health and wellbeing with iView.
So we're back.
We're back.
Now you've got something to show me. Now you said something about this yesterday, and I was intrigued.
Yes.
Because you said what it is, and I was trying to work out how or why or what it was. So we can just explain what you've got and what it does, and then we'll see if we can demonstrate it.
Yes, why not? What it is it's called a 360 all-around camera, and it's by a company called J5 Create, and we've just started working and bringing these to the UK. They're an American company, and essentially it's going to allow us to have a meeting where we could be having our meeting and then sharing us round a table with other people over Teams or a video call. So, and you could have as many people as you want. So it could be a boardroom table where you've got 12, 15 people around, and it will show everybody around the table. So it's obviously the primary use you could imagine is going to be in sort of education and sort of business.
Yep.
But I could actually see something like this if you're really struggling with being distant from family, and particularly if you've got family that are abroad. Why not stick it in the middle of the Christmas dinner? Share it with everybody.
Yeah.
And if your family's in Australia and you can't go and see them with the travel, it seems like you could let all your family attend.
Well, I've done meetings like this where we've been on a call with a meeting with one person dialing in, and it's just a webcam, and everyone's kind of trying to lean in, or you can see people are cut out, and it's not great because it's just one webcam facing. So go on, how does it work?
Well, it's got a single lens,
right?
But the lens has got some really clever optics on the top, which means it's getting effectively 180 degrees that way.
Yeah.
So if I put that between me and you, we're going to get the image from there all the way to there on all sides. So it's going to get a dome.
So it doesn't. I thought it looked at it going. It's spinning. It doesn't spin.
No.
Is it like Is it look like a fisheye view though? Is it?
Yeah, but then because it's got clever software,
Right.
it corrects all the fisheye bit
No.
in there. So then we all look normal and as good looking as we get.
So does it show the whole panorama, or does it just show the faces, or?
It would show it. You can either have it in a full panorama going from all the way around it, or
Right.
you can have it stacked. So there's 180 degrees and then 180 degrees.
Okay.
So you'll see with this, really all you've got on the controls is a mode button and a mute button.
Yeah.
The mode button takes you through either stacking it like that or making the speaker, prominent, and then all the other attendees will be at the side, and then the mute button will just mean that obviously
So the microphone's built, obviously.
the microphone's built in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna try it. If yeah.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah. Here we go.
And that obviously switching cameras, everybody that's used any webcam,
Yeah.
depending on your operating systems and
Yeah.
your computers, any external webcam can often take a little bit of tinkering to get it. But this is no different to any other webcam.
Sure. It's just a webcam, right?
It's just a webcam.
Okay. So we're probably gonna have to move the laptop in it. Actually, let's bring this out. I don't want to mess up any connections. Okay, so I'm just gonna plug that straight in. It says. She goes. And she's okay. It's lit up.
Lit up.
That's a good sign.
Purple. Or
Let me move this out of the way as well. Okay. Okay. So let's open up an application that will use a camera. Okay. Let's just start. You mean? Whoa, that's straight in. Okay.
so you can see both of us in one shot.
I can. It's cut. Is it? It's kind of cut off the top of our heads.
Cut off the top of our heads.
It might just be. Is it because it's? Right. Okay. Yeah. That's why. Let's look at that. Move this out of the way. It could go a bit high. Have you got anything else? Can we stack some more just underneath it? You've got your book under
A few more things. There. It's very.
See if that's.
How's that?
That's stable enough. Okay, don't shake the table there, Jonathan.
Okay.
Wow, so that's quite amazing. Now, that's not showing. Oh, is that just 1/8? No, that's okay. Is it just picking up the faces because there's more to the room?
So is it showing the whole thing?
No, it's showing. It's kind of showing there to there, so it's like a
So it'll
180.
detect the faces on one of the modes. I think
Is that the
there's
mode?
6 modes.
So we could press a mode and it'll show the whole thing.
So if but you've got the visibility of it.
Oh no! What it's doing is, sorry, I can see what it's doing now. It's showing 180 on the strip at the top, and it's showing the other side. I can see top of Alex's head at the back on the big screen. So if we put us on the big screen, can you press the mode button? See what happens when that goes on. See your finger in the shot. Okay, so it's giving you an option. So if I go, try that again. Can I select that? You press mode. Okay, that's it. Can you just press mode again? And does it? I don't know whether you can control it from the computer. Oh, that's it. Just go back one. I know you cycle.
No,
through.
I can't see. So this allows
Now
you
we're
to
showing
cycle
this, so you
through.
can see straight up. Okay, go again. This is amazing. Okay, so we'll just actually just rifle through them. So leave it on one, let it settle. So press it once and once again. Okay, that's it, and just leave it there.
And what are you getting
Right,
now?
now we're getting, okay, that's the kind of the 180 of you and me, which would work really well for this actually. We could have kept that. Press it again, please. Okay, this should be everybody. Okay, that's 2. Okay, and again, that's what we had at the strip at the top actually at the start. This will be So that's what we had there. So yeah, just once more and once again, let's just go to the next mode. This should be what we have to get. Yeah. Okay, so it's kind of you'd have to work on setting it up and getting it what you like. It's showing kind of 4 quarters now.
Yeah. So really, it's better if you can see on there wherever it's showing you the modes.
Yeah.
It's better if you're switching it,
of course,
rather than me, because I
absolutely.
can't see that screen.
Absolutely.
And then you can cycle through those screen
Right,
modes.
let me just spin this around, and then you see if you can get it to. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a play with that, so
Okay.
you can get the optimum.
So we
one.
want to go to.
That's really good.
Okay, so look, there's the panorama now,
Yeah.
and you can see both of us at the same time.
That's pretty cool. And we're not on a meeting at the moment either, so it would do something different with that as well.
Yeah.
But look at that, I'm not distorted at all. You know that fisheye looks horrible, isn't it? That.
Yeah, I
looks
mean,
like-
you know, when you see towards the edge of the lens, obviously there's only a limited amount that can be done.
Yep.
But you can see it's clearly good enough. You'd have your meeting or your dinner or whatever, and be able to share it with multiple people.
Yeah.
And you're not having to all cram in behind one camera.
That's great.
So it does give you the feeling of being present at a meeting or a dinner.
That's so good. That's really good.
Yeah.
What was that retail at?
I can get you those prices though.
No, I know. I asked one before and you got it within like 10 minutes, or which is pretty good. That's really good. I like that. And what's it called?
It's called the J5 Create 360 all-around web camera.
That's good. Thank you. That's brilliant. Again, thanks for joining us, Jonathan. Hope you've got to enjoy it. It's a different experience.
I did. It was more fun than I thought it would be. I thought I would just be sitting here sweating most of the time. So.
I know it's a different thing, but it's really enjoyable when you get. We hope.
Yeah.
So next time you're up, bring something else.
I'll
get
bring
up.
something else.
Bring something else up.
Something else weird and wonderful.
We'll do that. That's great. Jonathan Hutchison from Douglas Stewart. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.